Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds. If you've ever had a 1-cent coin in your pocket, you might want to stop and take a closer look at one specific year, the 1977 1-cent coin. Is it worth big money? Well, what if I told you this tiny penny could be worth over $340 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the history, rarity, and the mind-blowing value of the 1977 1-cent coin. Let's get started. First, let's break down what we're talking about. The 1977 1-cent coin isn't just any ordinary penny. It was minted by the U.S. Mint in Denver, and as you might guess, it's not super rare in itself. Most 1977 pennies are just regular coins you can find in any change jar, at the bottom of your purse, or even in the street. But here's the twist: there's a very specific version of the 1977 penny that could be worth millions. So, what's so special about this penny? In most cases, a 1977 penny is worth only 1 cent, the same as its face value. But there's a very rare misprint that happened in the minting process. And it's this misprint that could potentially make this coin worth a jaw-dropping $340 million. This coin, if found, would break records in the numismatic world. Let's take a look at how it all came to be. To understand how this incredible penny came into existence, we need to look back at the U.S. Mint's operations in the late 1970s. In 1977, the Mint was cranking out billions of coins to keep up with the demand for change. But as it happens in any mass production process, mistakes can slip through the cracks. During the production of these pennies, some of the coins experienced a minting error. The error involved a double die strike, where the dies used to stamp the coin onto the metal planchet had been misaligned. This meant that the date and the mint mark on some 1977 pennies were doubled. This doubling is subtle but noticeable if you know what to look for, and it's this anomaly that creates the coin's extraordinary value. Here's where things get interesting. The doubled die error makes the date on the coin appear thicker and more pronounced. It looks like the numbers 1977 were stamped multiple times, and when you see it in person, the difference is obvious. But only a few of these pennies were affected, making them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. So, how much is this error penny worth? The truth is, the value depends on the condition of the coin and the rarity of the error. For example, a 1977 double die penny in mint or near mint condition could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. But that's not all. The story goes that one collector got his hands on a perfect example of this rare error, and it's been valued at an astonishing $340 million. Now, you might be wondering, how can a penny be worth $340 million? Well, that's a theoretical value, based on the coin's rarity, its potential for being the only one of its kind, and its high demand in the market. While no one has officially sold a 1977 double die penny for that exact amount, the coin could be worth that much in a private auction, depending on the interest of the right buyer. But what makes this coin so valuable isn't just its error, it's the mystique surrounding it. Imagine the excitement when a collector or enthusiast stumbles upon one of these rare 1977 double die pennies. Even though they are incredibly rare, a few have been sold at auctions for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that market interest continues to grow. Now, you might be asking, how do I know if my 1977 penny is worth something? Well, the first step is to look for the double die effect. Look closely at the year 1977. Do you see any doubling or thickening of the digits? If you do, you might have one of these rare coins. But that's just the beginning. You also want to get the coin professionally graded by a reputable service, like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, to determine its condition and market value. And if you do find one, the best way to get a true value is to put it up for auction. These rare coins often attract the attention of big collectors, and when the bidding wars begin, the price can skyrocket. So, is the 1977 D1 coin really worth $340 million? Well, it's possible, but extremely unlikely. The truth is, only a few of these error coins exist, and they're highly coveted by collectors, which drives up their value. However, even in lesser conditions, these coins can still fetch a hefty price. So, if you've got a 1977 D penny lying around, it might just be time to check it closely. That's all for today's deep dive into the 1977 D1 coin. If you think you've got one of these rare coins, or if you just learned something new, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more amazing coin stories and tips. Who knows what treasure is hiding in your pocket? Until next time, happy collecting! Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters! You might think that a 1-cent coin is no big deal. But what if I told you that a 1994 US penny could be worth a mind-blowing $479 million? That's right, this small, seemingly insignificant penny might be worth more than you can imagine. Stick around, because in today's video, we're uncovering the fascinating history, value, and the incredible mystery behind the 1994 1-cent coin. Let's dive in. Before we get into the specifics of this incredible value, let's first talk about what makes the 1994 1-cent coin so special. At face value, it's just a regular penny, right? You'll find millions of them in circulation, and they're used every day for small transactions. The typical 1994 penny is worth, well, 1 cent. So, where's the $479 million coming from? On the surface, the 1994 penny doesn't look all that different from other pennies. It features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, that's the front, with the inscription "In God We Trust" and the date 1994. On the reverse, we have the famous Union shield, with E pluribus unum and the words 1 cent beneath it. So, what's the big deal? Why could one of these pennies be worth millions of dollars? Well, the story begins with a minting error, a rare occurrence in the production process. See, the 1994 US penny was struck in large quantities by the US Mint. But, as sometimes happens with mass production, a rare minting mistake slipped through the cracks. There's a small group of 1994 pennies that are extremely rare, and it's this error that has collectors salivating and driving up the value of certain coins. The error we're talking about is a double die obverse, a term in coin collecting that refers to the coin's design being struck more than once, resulting in a noticeable doubling of the image. In the case of the 1994 penny, some of these coins were struck twice with the same die, causing the date, lettering, and features on the coin to appear thicker and doubled. Take a look at this side-by-side comparison. The coin on the left is a normal 1994 penny. Nothing too special, right? But the coin on the right? That's the double die error. Notice how the 1994 date appears doubled and how the lettering around the edges of the coin looks thicker. This subtle difference, while small, is a major deal in the world of coin collecting. Now, before you get too excited, let's talk about the rarity of this error. While there were millions of 1994 pennies produced, only a handful of them have this double die error. That's why they're so highly coveted by collectors. And the best part? As time passes, fewer and fewer of these error pennies are in circulation, which only increases their value. So, how much is a 1994 penny with a double die error worth? Well, the value of such a coin depends on a few things: condition, rarity, and demand. Coins in mint condition or graded as proof can fetch significant sums of money at auctions. In fact, one of these error coins sold for over $50,000 at a major coin auction. And while that's impressive, some collectors have theorized that one day, a perfect example of a 1994 double die penny could sell for upwards of $479 million. Now, before we get too carried away, let's clarify. The $479 million figure is theoretical. It's based on the rarity of the error, the demand from collectors, and the interest from wealthy investors looking to add a truly unique piece to their collection. While no coin has actually sold for that amount, the idea of a 1994 double-die penny reaching such an extreme value is not entirely impossible. Some of the world's top coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare errors like this one, and when a specimen of this caliber hits the market, the competition can drive the price through the roof. In fact, if you happen to stumble upon a perfect 1994 double-die penny in your change or tucked away in a drawer, it's worth getting it professionally appraised to determine its market value. Now, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of how you can check your own pennies. How do you spot a 1994 double-die penny? It's simple, just look closely at the date and inscriptions. If you notice any doubling or thickening of the text, especially the numbers in the year 1994, you may have found an error coin. And here's a tip: if you find one, make sure you don't clean it. Cleaning can lower the coin's value. The next step is to get your coin graded. A professional grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can examine your coin, assess its condition, and provide a grade. A higher grade coin will almost certainly fetch a better price. But remember, coin collectors and investors are looking for coins that are in as mint condition as possible, so the better the coin's condition, the more valuable it could be. At auction, these rare 1994 double-die pennies could attract bids from serious collectors willing to pay top dollar for the chance to own a piece of U.S. history. If you happen to be lucky enough to come across one of these rare pennies, you could be sitting on an investment that could skyrocket in value. So, is the 1994 US 1-cent coin worth $479 million? Well, that's the million-dollar question. While the reality is that such a coin would have to be in perfect condition and possess a flawless double-die error, there's no denying that these coins are incredibly valuable and sought after. If you've got a 1994 penny hanging around, it might just be worth taking a closer look. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more amazing coin finds and expert tips. Who knows what treasure is waiting for you in your pocket? Until next time, happy collecting! Last, hey, coin collectors and curious minds. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that may be sitting right under your nose, literally. That's right, I'm talking about the 1986 US 1-cent coin, or penny. At face value, it's worth, well, 1 cent. But did you know this penny could be worth as much as $280 million? It sounds insane, but the story behind this rare penny is just as unbelievable. So, stick around, because we're diving deep into the history, value, and mystery of the 1986 1-cent coin. At first glance, the 1986 US 1-cent coin seems like just another penny. It features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front, and the famous Union shield on the reverse, the back, surrounded by the inscription E pluribus unum and the words 1 cent. But what if I told you there's a very specific 1986 penny that could be worth millions of dollars? Let's break it down. First, let's start with the basics. Most 1986 pennies are just standard coins, nothing extraordinary. But here's where things get interesting: mint errors. In 1986, during the production of the US 1-cent coins, the US Mint made a rare minting error. This error created a unique version of the penny that's worth a small fortune. So what was the mistake? Let me tell you. At the time, the US Mint was producing billions of pennies to keep up with the demand. But, as often happens with mass production, mistakes can happen. Some of the 1986 pennies were struck with misaligned dies, meaning the stamping process was imperfect, resulting in double-struck or off-center designs. These minting errors led to some extremely rare and valuable coins. One of the most common types of errors found in 1986 pennies is a double strike error, where the coin is struck twice, causing the design to appear doubled. This gives the penny a distinct look, with parts of the image overlapping or slightly shifted. While some double-struck pennies are minor, the ones with clear and noticeable errors are worth significantly more. In fact, a perfect example of this could fetch a small fortune. Take a look at this side-by-side comparison. On the left, we have a normal 1986 penny, nothing out of the ordinary. But on the right, we see a double-struck error coin. Notice how the year 1986 and the words e pluribus unum appear doubled and misaligned. This kind of error makes the coin stand out, and it's highly valued by collectors. Another type of error seen in some 1986 pennies is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin's metal planchet is not properly aligned with the die during the stamping process. As a result, parts of the design are cut off or misaligned, making the coin look quite different from a standard penny. So, how much could a 1986 penny with one of these rare minting errors be worth? Well, in most cases, a regular 1986 penny is worth just 1 cent. But the error coins, depending on their condition and severity of the error, can be worth anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars. And here's where it gets even more interesting. There are some collectors who believe a perfect example of a rare 1986 penny could be worth up to $280 million. Now, you might be thinking, how in the world could a penny be worth $280 million? Well, the figure is based on the extreme rarity of these error coins, their demand in the collector's market, and the high bidding competition at major coin auctions. While no one has actually sold a 1986 penny for that amount, the theoretical value is rooted in the rarity and the level of interest from serious collectors and investors. Let's talk about grading. To determine the value of a 1986 penny, one of the most important factors is the condition of the coin. Professional grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, assess coins for their condition, authenticity, and rarity. A well-preserved coin, with minimal wear and a distinct error, will fetch a much higher price compared to a heavily worn or damaged penny. Coin auctions are where these error coins can reach their highest value. If you're lucky enough to find a 1986 penny with a noticeable minting error, it could spark bidding wars among coin collectors. Depending on how rare the coin is and the interest it attracts, the price could soar. Some highly sought-after error coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, while others have gone for much more. So, how can you tell if your 1986 penny is worth more than 1 cent? First, you'll want to inspect the coin carefully. Look for signs of a double strike or an off-center strike. Examine the year 1986 closely. Does it look doubled or misaligned? Are the edges of the coin clean, or is there noticeable damage from the minting error? If you spot any of these signs, you might have a rare find on your hands. The next step is to get the coin graded by a professional. Grading is crucial because it gives the coin an official value, based on its condition and rarity. Once you know its grade, you can start looking into selling it at auctions or reaching out to coin dealers who specialize in rare error coins. One thing to remember: never clean the coin. Cleaning can remove the natural patina and damage the coin, significantly lowering its value. Instead, keep it in a protective case to preserve its condition and keep it safe until you're ready to get it appraised. So, could the 1986 US penny really be worth $280 million? While that's the theoretical value, the fact remains that these error coins are incredibly rare and valuable. If you've got a 1986 penny in your collection or change jar, it might be worth taking a closer look. Who knows, you could be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. Thanks for watching today's deep dive into the 1986 penny. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. Have you found any rare coins? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, happy collecting!